Is this the top platform coming up here?
No, halfway.
No. Halfway? So Augusta's tucked away down the bottom of the Cape Leeuwin, and it's a little further than a lot of people will go, particularly if you're coming down to the southwest for Margaret River. But it's well worth making that extra drive. We're spending today by the water, on the water, near the water, and at one stage, above the water. But we're going to start out with a country classic. So we're starting the day at an Augusta institution. The Augusta Bakery's been here since 1948, and it's survived that long for a reason. During summer, it is packed. You'll see lines snaking around the corner, desperate for a pie, and there's a great selection of stuff to start with for breakfast. Let's go take a look. I think I'm spoiled for choice here. So there's the sweet options, obviously, if you want to go that way for breakfast, through to some fantastic lunch options, including the Vietnamese pork roll, which I'm told is one of their best sellers. But I think I'm going to start the day with something hot. How many people actually start the day with a pie?
More than you would think.
More than you would think. Okay, all right. I think we'll start with a plain chunky steak pie. Fantastic, thank you. So this is Flinders Bay. We've got the historic settlement just here, very picturesque. It's a great little place to come with the kids too. It's a sheltered sort of natural harbour. The water's very shallow. You've got the jetty here to stroll along, a pontoon to jump off, and the younger kids can entertain themselves on the playground just over here. Now just around the corner is Granny's Pool. It's also fairly sheltered. And on the way, there's a whale watching platform. And if you're here at the right time of year, it's a chance to check out some of the larger wildlife. You're on the edge of the world here, aren't you?
Yeah. Some people say it's the end of the road, but I say it's the start of the adventure.
Right.
A lot of people still say, even if you didn't need the lighthouse, it gives you reassurance. As a human, you see the white structure,
Yeah.
see the lighthouse, and it gives you that sort of reassurance.
There is something really comforting, isn't it? Even just seeing it from a distance as we drove in.
It's the tallest on the mainland of Australia. You've got the two oceans, Southern Indian. It was sighted by the Dutch, so the name Leeuwin.
Yeah.
Lioness was from a ship that sailed past in 1622.
Okay.
So it was mapped and appeared on the charts as the land of Leeuwin. But well before that, the Wardandi, the Aboriginal people, the saltwater people from here, called this spot Dougalup. Up, place of, this is place of wind.
Right, place of wind.
So yeah, it's got a history going back way back.
Well, I'm looking forward to the tour. Should we go up?
Yeah, we better head up.
So Paul, I think the first thing I should ask is how many steps are there?
176 steps in total.
Okay.
A really cool thing, when they did the restoration, everything was stripped out and taken away and restored.
Yep.
And they only had to replace one step after 126 years.
Is that right?
But the back room, they had spares left over from when they built it.
So they could replace it with an original step?
Yeah.
Amazing.
1896.
Okay. All right. How many steps is that so far?
That's 28.
28, all right.
A few more to go, but we can have a rest along the way.
So what's the lighthouse built out of?
Yeah, this is local stone. It was quarried a kilometre away. It's called Tamala limestone.
Okay.
But it was all hand cut and shaped as well.
Right, but the curve in it, that's all hand cut.
Yeah, and the limestone mortar actually allows it to flex. So when we get strong winds and we're at the top, we don't go outside, but inside you can lean against the wall and feel movement in the tower. And part of that is because the walls flex.
Okay,
from having
which is a good thing. I imagine that being slightly disturbing, but that's what it's supposed to do.
I love it. It's pretty cool. You get people to lean against the wall.
Okay.
And it sort of adds to the experience.
Yeah.
But it's a nice, safe experience.
Okay, well, good to hear. Should we keep going?
Yep.
So is this the top platform coming up here?
No, halfway.
No. Halfway? So we're passing the halfway mark now.
Yep, this is 90 steps of the 176.
Okay.
The lens system above is original. It's probably worth $1 million each because
Wow.
it's lead crystal in a gunmetal frame. But 3.5 ton floating on just over 12 litres of mercury. So like a boat floats on water, that base is rotating, floating without friction. So there you
Wow.
have it.
So that's quite a view.
Yep, the two coasts, the two oceans. Next stop, Antarctica or Africa. But that's Australia there, right at this point of the Cape.
Do you see whales from up here?
Yeah, during the winter you've got the whales migrating north, you've got the humpbacks. In the spring, as they're heading south, we see them. The bay has southern right whales. They carve in the shallows out from Augusta.
Right.
So you've got good whale watching in the winter and sometimes in the spring as well.
Fantastic.
So it's pretty unique, but unlike places where you might have to really try to get there in a four-wheel drive and be really prepared, this is pretty accessible.
You're right, it does feel like you're on the edge of the world here, but it was, what, a 25-minute drive back into town?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Paul, thank you, this has been great.
No worries.
So lunch today is at the Colour Patch, and you'll notice it's got a bit of a sailing club, nautical vibe to it, and that's fair enough when you look at the setting. So we're right down here on the water. You're not going to find anywhere closer to eat than this, and apparently it is the last place to eat before you set sail for Antarctica. And as we'll see, the nautical theme very much continues inside. That's great, thank you. So we started the day with some traditional country fare at the bakery. The focus here is very much on the fresh, so that's the fish of the day, and it's something like the radicchio salad, which I've got here. So. That's great. I feel fresher already. One of the great things about Augusta is how easy it is to get out on the water. So I've hired us up, I've got my paddle in hand, and I'm going to see where the river takes me. Well, that was nice. It was a really good way to spend an hour or so out on the water. Saw some birds, got buzzed by a couple of boats. I didn't fall in, that was nice. Now, if you're a bit worried about setting out in your own paddle boat, there's plenty of options. You can hire some kayaks and go out with the kids, but a lot of people actually just hire the motorboats and head out for a couple of hours fishing. It's a great way to spend an afternoon in Augusta. So this is Hamelin Bay. People come here to see the stingrays. There are no stingrays this afternoon. That's all right. It's a very sheltered bay. You're really protected from the elements here, even on a blustery afternoon. And it's a very scenic stretch of coast for a nice afternoon walk. So we've spent a lot of time on the water today, and Augusta is surrounded by water. So we've got the Indian Ocean that way, the Southern Ocean that way, and the Blackwood River just down the hill here. And when you're surrounded by that much water, there's really only one choice for dinner, and that's a good pack of fish and chips. I've worked out quite an appetite. I'm ready for some hot food. Let's see what's on offer. Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.